DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Topic here is the skill of applied faith. Not the same as just regular faith, but actually applied faith. So before we get to this, I'm going to tell you now, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to get a free copy of this book, The Mirror of Motivation. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, you should already have a copy of this book, or it should at least be on the way to you. But if not, if you're new, or if you just haven't gotten it before because of procrastination, I'm going to help you out with that. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you how to get this book for free, shipped to your doorstep. So please stay tuned to the end of this video for my sake. Not for my sake, actually for your sake. It's not for me, it's for you. I already wrote the book, so it's for you. So we're talking this concept of applied faith. I think everybody's heard of faith. What is faith? Faith is just like a belief in something, right? It's a belief in something that you can't touch, you can't see. It's just you believe that it's there even though you can't prove to somebody that it's there. So any of you who is strongly religious, on any type of religious faith, that is your strong belief in something, even though you can't hold it in your hand and prove to somebody that this higher spirit or this person exists or they existed, but you believe it, and that is faith. And that's what faith is all about. Like when you're in a relationship, they say be faithful. What does faithful mean? It means trusting that your partner is going to do the right thing even though you're not around to verify, and you'll never know for sure if they did or they didn't most of the time. That's what faith is about. It's just belief even though you can't prove something. So the definition of the word hope is a feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. The definition of faith is complete trust or confidence in someone or something. So complete trust. So when we talk about applied faith, what exactly does that mean? Let's get into it. Point number one. Applied faith means action taken on that trust. So faith is complete trust and belief in something or someone. Applied faith means when you actually move your feet based on your trust and belief in something. So you understand what applied faith means now. So you believe in it and you can see it in your mind and you feel it and you have the vision of this thing coming to life, and you're willing to take action on it. You're willing to actually put your feet and your movement behind it. Not just putting your money behind it, but putting your action behind it. That is what applied faith is about. For example, if you believe, right now is a beautiful, warm and sunny day in Miami, but if I believed that it was going to rain when I go on a walk later on, what would I probably do? If I believe that it's going to rain, I have faith that it's going to rain, I would apply that faith by probably carrying an umbrella, or maybe I won't go on my walk because I don't want to get wet. Applied faith is when you can see something in your mind and you're willing to take action on that vision even before the vision has come to life. So this will be like, I remember when I was a kid and CD players were starting to become like the bigger thing. They were already a bigger thing. I was just kind of late to the game. So CD players were a thing, but I used to have tapes. And I remember Christmas was coming up and I asked my mom to give me a stereo that had a CD changer in it, like a 3 CD changer in the top. Now, a week before Christmas, I'm in the mall with my sister and I go to the music store. This is way back in the day. Some of y'all don't even know it used to be a such thing as a music store. I go buy a CD. Now, mind you, I didn't have a CD player yet, but I bought a CD. So I buy a CD and my sister's like, "You dummy, what you buy a CD for? You ain't even got no CD player." And I was like, "Well, I think I'm gonna get one." And then she told my mom, like, "Yo, he bought a CD and he ain't got a CD player." My mom had this little smile on her face. She's like, "Well, he must think he's getting a CD player for Christmas." And then I got the CD player. The whole point was, that was applied faith. I bought a CD, didn't even have anything to play it on, but I had the belief that I was going to get that CD player, and then end up getting the CD player. Now, had I not gotten it, it still would have been applied faith because I still had the belief, but I just would have been wrong. And sometimes in life you will be wrong when you apply faith, but you got to be willing to jump out there on the ledge. And this is like when people do venture capital investments. They invest in a business before the business gets big. You invest in it at the small round, or like a company like Uber or any company that blows up. You invest in it when it's small, and hopefully you make that bet that company blows up and you make a lot of money on the back end. Sometimes you make money, sometimes you lose money, but you got to be willing to invest. People do this all the time. Book publishers, music companies, they invest in some artist who's coming out with something and is not known yet. You're betting that at least somebody that you invest in is going to make a whole lot of money on the back end. So that's what applied faith is just taking action on your belief even though you have no proof that it's going to turn out in a positive way. Number two, we exercise applied faith every single day. Everything you do, you are exercising applied faith. For example, is there anyone watching this who grows all of your own food, you cook all of your own food, you clean it all yourself from the point of that is planted in the ground as a seed to the point that you eat it? Nobody else touches any of your food. You do everything 100% on your own. I would venture to guess that there's maybe one person watching this video who could say that they do that. You grow everything from the seed all the way to eating it off of your plate. Nobody else touches it. Nobody does anything to prepare it except you. Me, absolutely not. I don't grow any food. Y'all can see behind me, this ain't no farm that I'm living on. This is a concrete jungle. There's a lot of trees, but it's a concrete jungle. I can't grow any food. Ain't no farm where I'm at. I mean, it's farms around here. Ain't no farm where I live. I ain't growing nothing. So all the food that I eat, somebody else grew it. Somebody else sourced it. Someone else planted it. They prepared it. They washed it. Hopefully, they made it in the proper type of way. Their hands were clean. Hopefully, the ingredients that they put in there are good for me. Hopefully, I have no control over any of that. So every time I eat some food, since I didn't grow it, I didn't prepare it, I didn't plant it, guess what? I'm applying faith that nobody messes with my food in such a way that it's going to hurt me. All right, every single time I'm applying faith. Right now I'm in a building. You can probably tell I'm out on the ground floor. I'm not an architect. I'm not a construction worker. I don't know anything about building buildings or the physics of it, but I am applying faith by even standing here right now. This building was built strongly enough and to code enough, and that code is serious enough that this building is not going to just collapse on top of itself right now, because if it did, it won't be no more YouTube videos from Dre Baldwin, because I'll be dead. It'd be over, because I didn't build this building. So I'm applying faith that this building is good. Anytime you get in a car that somebody else is driving, you are applying faith that they know how to drive and they're not going to veer off the road and swerve into the other lane and go head on into a truck. Every time you get into an airplane, unless you know how to fly a plane, you are applying faith that the pilot knows how to fly a plane and that they got a good enough amount of rest the previous night. So you're applying faith all the time in life. You may not think about it this way, but you always are. And when you go outside, I mean, right now as I'm outside, I can see 50 balconies of this building right here, another 100 over there, another 100 over there. I can see, like, if somebody had binoculars and a scope, there's like thousands of people who could be looking at me right now making this video. I have no idea who any of them is. One of them could have a gun with the red dot on it. Like Biggie talked about in the song, you got a red dot on your head. Somebody could have a gun with a red dot on their head, shoot me in the head right now. I'm applying faith that even by standing out here out in the open, that nobody's going to do that. Because if I thought that was going to happen, I probably wouldn't be in here. I'd be in the house hiding. When I go outside and I'm walking, I'm around a whole bunch of strangers. I don't know any of these people. I'm applying faith that nobody's going to do something crazy and some mass shooting or something happens right there. We're applying faith all the time. I know these are kind of extreme examples, but the point is we apply faith all the time. It's maybe in smaller doses and things that we don't think about, but you are always applying faith. So if you think about this and say, well, I don't know if I can use applied faith, I don't know if I can activate applied faith, you are already activating it all the time. So here's the question: where's the applied faith that you have in you? How often are you applying faith in yourself? How often are you betting on yourself? How often are you willing to take some action based on some success that you believe you will achieve in the future, but you haven't achieved it yet, but you're willing to make a commitment today? How often are you doing that? When's the last time you did it? And if you haven't done it in a while, why not? What's stopping you? I mean, if you could apply faith to the drivers on the road, to the people walking down the street, to the people who are preparing your food, why can't you apply faith to yourself? Are you willing to apply the faith ahead of time? You think you're going to win a Grammy Award, are you willing to pay for studio time? If you think you're going to win, you think you're going to make it to the NBA, you're willing to pay a basketball trainer. You think you're going to win a boxing championship, the belt, are you willing to hire a trainer and join a boxing gym? Are you willing to make investments up front for success that you're going to get on the back end? If you're not willing to do that, then you are not exercising applied faith. And point number 3, understanding applied faith eliminates fear, anxiety, and frustration. Why? Because when you know something's going to work out, I don't mean you think it's going to work out. I don't mean you hope it's going to work out. I mean when you know that something is going to work out, you are willing to act on it even though you don't have the results right now. When I was trying to play a basketball professionally, I didn't have any results yet, but I was willing to invest in myself. I went to some tryouts. I went to some exposure camps. I got me a gym membership. Even when I was working at one gym, they didn't have a basketball court. I got a membership at another gym, and all my off time, if I wasn't at work, I was working on my game. Why? Because of the applied faith that I was going to get my opportunity to play pro, and I was going to be able to make it happen. And I was able to make that happen, and then it becomes a great story. But are you willing to apply that faith before it becomes a great story? Before you make it happen? Are you willing to do it up front? Because that's what makes it a story. The fact that you are willing to bet on yourself, invest in yourself, even gamble a little bit on yourself, or betting is gambling, even before you had the success. Are you willing to do that? A lot of people aren't willing to do these things, and they don't get the results even when the opportunity finds them. The opportunity eventually finds them, but because they didn't apply the faith to be ready for the opportunity, they missed the opportunity. And then guess who gets it? The person who is willing to apply the faith. This is the way that it works in life every single day for anyone. These opportunities are available for anyone. Not everyone takes advantage of these. So you got to be willing to take those actions up front before you get the results. So all that said, let me recap these 3 points about the skill of applied faith. What is applied faith? It is action taken on your full belief and trust in something or someone. And point number 2, we exercise applied faith every single day. Every time you get in the car, every time you walk past a stranger hoping that they're not crazy, every time you eat food that wasn't made or prepared by you, you're exercising applied faith. So the question is, when are you going to start applying faith to yourself the same way you apply faith to other people? And number 3, applied faith eliminates anxiety, fear, and frustration. Why? Because you know that you're going to get the result. It's not applied faith that you don't know you're going to get the result. If you believe, if you hope, if you think, that's not applied faith. Applied faith is, I know this is going to work out. There's nothing to even think about. I remember I was watching a Floyd Mayweather fight. I forget which fight it was, but before they announced it, the fight went the distance. I know a lot of Floyd's fights go the distance. And before they announced the winner, Floyd starts standing on the ropes and he's looking at the crowd, and some people are booing him. And they're like, yo, what you standing on the rope for? They ain't announced that you won yet. And Floyd start yelling at the people in the crowd. He's like, I know I won. I know I won. And then they said the winner, and then they said his name. And he was like, yeah, see? And that was applied faith, because he was willing to even boast and taunt these people in the crowd who were cheering against him even before they announced that he won, because he knew about the result. Now, he had just did the boxing match, but hey, you don't control the judges. And y'all who watch boxing, y'all know what I mean. But the whole point is this: you gotta be willing to apply faith with action to yourself even before you get the result. That's what makes it an amazing story. But if you're not willing to tell that story, or you're not willing to apply that faith, you will not be qualified to tell that story. That's the right way to say that. So I told you I'd tell you how to get this book for free. It's called The Mirror of Motivation. The subtitle is The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. Why do you want this book? Because everybody watching this understands the concept of working hard and having goals. Many people do not understand the concept of asking yourself who you need to be. What type of person do you need to be when you work hard, while you're working hard, in order to achieve your goals? So if you ever known anybody who was working really hard yet they still didn't reach their goals, it's because they never asked themselves the question I just told you. Who do I need to be? This book will give you the frameworks for you to answer that question for yourself, then do your thing, then get your results. Get this book free by going to mirrorofmotivation.com. All I need you to do is help us out by covering the shipping. That's mirrorofmotivation.com. The link is down below in the description of this video. And I want you to send me a text message at the same time. My number is 305-384-6894. Tell me the most valuable thing you got from this video. 305-384-6894. Work on your game. Dre all day.